Hello, this is not a spring chicken. If you're watching us, well, we're just not exactly here. In fact, we are here at this CEA Industry Forum, catching up on the latest. Oh yes, the latest, even if it's, holiday forecast for 2011. Meanwhile, we're going to bring Oldecam on with comments on the headlines of today.
Just to be my age, you can eat and talk.
And Obama is getting close to congressional approval ratings on his handling of the economy.
Well, don't worry. The Democrats are rallying around him now because he's now doing what the left wants. He's going to put his jobs program in by executive order with only one minor problem.
What?
He can't fund any of it.
Oh!
Because he needs his funding thing. I mean, like they just got through announcing a few minutes ago. Like, we're explaining again, folks. If I'm eating, it's because we're actually having breakfast at the Consumer Electronics Forum in San Diego. And if I don't see any of Monty's family, it's because her family is not allowed into the hotel we're at, because it's not that they don't like the president's family. It's just they don't like animals in their building.
And Bangkok prepares for floodwaters to roll deeper into the city.
Well, yeah, it's what I love is that they said, here's a funny thing, that almost everywhere where there's a problem with Christianity, there's huge disasters at the moment. Isn't that amazing? So,
are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Anywhere where there's a crackdown on Christians, there seems to be huge natural disasters happening. But we're gonna talk about okay. Here's one that I forgot. I lose my train of thought because I'm getting old. I actually don't get any rest anymore. I wondered if you're seeing this, we're at the CEA, and they're wondering why. How in the world can you stand all night long, stay up all night long? Because I'm not allowed to sleep. What she does is she puts me in a room, a little closet with a little light. She makes me, there's no place to even lean against the wall. But the Democrats have came up with an unbelievable super team effort to handle the deficit. They're going to take Obama's money that he said is going to be cut from Medicare and cut it again. And they're going to cut $750 billion out of defense, which was going to be cut whether they passed the budget thing or not. And then, you're not going to believe this. It's going to be the most earth-shattering thing. They're going to tax the wealthy $1.5 billion more to stop the problems with the hemorrhaging of the budget. Well, did they actually stop any spending on any of their programs? No. Are they going to cut the defense budget? They're cutting the defense budget, and that money is being shifted over to other programs to fund them, which means there's no cuts. Now, they're not cutting, like they said, the Republicans are not going to go along with this. The Republicans did it. The Republicans' plan is they're going to cut $2 trillion out of the budget by simply not spending anything anymore. But that's not going to work.
Imagine that. And about 130 protesters arrested at Occupy Chicago.
Yeah, more were arrested in Chicago. They said everywhere where the liberals are, except in New York, they're cracking down on the protesters because they're, I think, over in, we can't, San Francisco is sort of a bastion of the Democratic Party, the left. They're saying they're becoming a mob and becoming out of control now. This, folks, is what happens when you support things like this. Well, the Tea Party people were far worse, and they're trying to figure out. I mean, I heard one of the Democrats last night when they said, well, the Tea Party were far worse. These people are anarchists and want to overthrow our government. They want to do this and they want to do that, and they're wondering, the Democrats, what are you talking about? Well, you saw how, they were pissing on black people. They were anti-Semitic. They were destroying public property. No, that's the protesters that are being arrested are doing that. No, those were the Tea Party, because the news has reported it continually how bad the Tea Party was, and they wouldn't lie.
Oh.
And the guy said, I'm one of them that was reporting it. I didn't see any of that happening. But you do see, everything you said is what your people are doing. Our people are obeying all the laws, and they're being harassed by right-wing Republican governments. Wrong man, the people in San Francisco, left-wing, Oakland, left-wing, Boston, left-wing, everywhere but New York City, They're not being harassed by the Republicans at all. The Democrats are wanting them to obey the law.
And Saudis and U.S. trade charges with Iran over plot.
Because there is no proof. Okay, anybody see Wag the Dog? You know, I think that's basically what this is. It was Bill Clinton's firing missiles into a baby food factory, and you know, to basically get people off his back. Well, I was after Al Qaeda. Well, he had a baby food factory. The problem with guided missiles is they don't always hit what they're guided to do. And Bill, okay, there is no proof that the Iranians did anything, and that Obama now has to. He's basically got to put his money where he put his mouth, and he's going to have to attack the Iranians, which we all know is going to lead to.
And Congress okays Korea, Panama, Colombia trade deals.
Yeah, which they said. I mean, I was talking to some people at the CEA, which there's a lot of left-wing press there, folks, which is funny because they really don't like. They really don't like what's going on. They voted for the guy, but they don't like it. They're trying to figure out. Well, he really did something good, except I heard it's going to cost jobs. Well, CEA supports it because it increases retail sales, because they're going to bring merchandise into our country that is cheaply made. And the exporters like it because raw materials are going to go out. But the people that manufacture in this country and the Teamsters hate it because they're not going to get any jobs. They're going to lose jobs.
And Congress okays Korea, Panama, and Colombia trade deals.
I know, she likes it so much she did it twice.
I know. Well, Ronnie leads the Republicans and Kane second.
Yeah, I know. It's just, okay, here's the bit. The Republicans cannot understand on Herman Cain why this man keeps being at the top. They said he keeps making mistakes when he's saying things. He has no foreign policy experience. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. We know his plan doesn't work. Why do people keep putting him at the top, above Obama, above everybody? And they said, it's because he's not one of them. And the problem is the people are tired of them. Remember, the President of the United States was not an outsider. He was an ultimate one of them. Since he was in college, he is trained to be one of them. And they elected one of them to change the system. They're thinking about, well, let's elect somebody that basically have no clue of what he's doing. And one guy said, I heard one of them said, he can't do anything worse. I mean, it's already as bad as it can get. The only thing it can do is get worse, so you figure you put somebody that is totally incompetent. Maybe he'll put people around him, unlike this president, that actually knows what they're doing. I mean, like a car czar that can't drive. A green business czar that basically his job is to make certain that all business in our country goes to China. A jobs czar that exported 20,000 jobs to China.
And House panel subpoenas failed gun sting documents.
Yeah, and we're talking, Gianna Napolitano is oh, I had no knowledge of what was going on. If, as Homeland Security, I had known what was going on, I would have put it into it, and then they got documents showing she was informed from day one.
Are you serious?
Okay. Here is a trick. The crime never gets you in trouble. It's the cover-up that always does. If you come out and say, yeah, a bunch of a-holes in my department approved and signed my name to it, you basically do like we do in Japan. You sacrifice the people. I mean, okay, why do you think that Sir Stringer in Japan with Sony is still in his job? Because he won't commit harikari. He's letting the people beneath him take the fall because he wasn't responsible, they were. That's not how it works in Japan, folks.
I was going to say how un-Japanese-like.
That's right. He will not. He's an Englishman, folks. He's not Japanese. They hired an Englishman to run the company. He's not making a mistake. The people beneath him are. But in order to keep the people from the glass house above knowing what's going on, he's supposed to commit suicide. You know, actually, they do it. I mean, jumping off a building.
And they do. I mean, traditional, if you look at old Japanese companies.
Yeah.
And House panel subpoenas failed gun sting documents.
I know,
oh, well, you know, it's like...
She likes them twice. That's how you know we're lying, because we do rip and read. And I have no idea what's coming up, so...
And bullish Apple investors start calling for a dividend.
The company lost money, folks. It lost money for the first time in 10 years.
It was a long time.
It was 10 years because nobody, okay, they brought out a new iPhone that is essentially the old iPhone. They just fixed some of the bugs they fixed. And then we do, okay, if you were here, if we were actually here, we could be telling you about all the problems that people at the forum are having with their brand new. But that'll probably be done tomorrow, because then tomorrow will be on the right day.
Yeah, and a Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Okay, you know you're old when you've been in the business as long as I have, and you talk about the people you grew up with and work with in the industry, and nobody knows who they are.
Hello, this is not a spring chicken. If you notice something similar, well, we are at, of course, the, what is it? Consumer Electronics Association Industry Forum. And the big news today, of course, is that, well, if you've been behind, you could just get your house for free. And for us, we got to meet, yes, Mr. Chopra, the Chief Technology Officer of the United States. Well, for now, we're going to bring Oldecam on with comments on the headlines of today.
If for people really want to know, yes, that is the same piece of bread I was eating yesterday on Oldecam. You have to understand, I work for a dog that has a Scottish father, and he has taught her to be economical. So I get 1 cup of stuff to drink and 1 piece of bread. And this has to last me through the entire Consumer Electronics Association's forum.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
So what do you think about people getting their houses for free?
Well, the press people didn't like it because we got the press release, but okay.
I guess it's good if you get your house
There's
for free.
There's two sets of the president's thing. One that he gave to the press, and the second one that was done at the fundraiser. The fundraiser is the important one. The one that he released to the press is just a rehash of the one. Well, if you make all of your payments on time, and you can't get a loan, you can't get refinancing, which basically if you make all your payments on time, anybody can do.
Yeah.
But, the government will help secure that loan for you. That's the same to rehash the other one. The part that he told the important part is what he told the fundraisers. In order to stop the problem, the housing problem in this country, the bubble, we're going to reward all of you out there that have not paid a penny on your houses since I became President of the United States. We are going to take off all that you didn't pay. We're going to refinance your house to what it really is worth. And you don't have to have a job, and you don't have to have a credit check to do that. And the people, and here, he said, okay, he gets excited when he gets off a teleprompter. Here's the exciting part about it, folks, is that the people in all the neighborhoods are going to like what we are doing so much, because we are going to raise the value of their homes up again. He told people we're going to evaluate your home at the true level, and that's all you're going to have to pay on it.
Yeah, right.
Which means he devalues the homes now to what level the people are, okay. He takes across the country and takes a house that you paid $1 million for and makes it worth about $300,000. But because you have been making your payments, you have to continue making your payments on that $1 million home at the price you were paying before, knowing your home is now $600,000 less than what it was you paid for it. And on top of that, you have to pay you have to increase your taxes and pay for the home that the guy was given for virtually nothing. And here's even the better part. This is the part, he's really going up and down about this one. You think he's going to wet his pants. That they don't have to make any of the payments on their homes after they've been refinanced.
Oh.
You said the people are going to flock to us. He said, we're going to get so many, as you said, we're going to get so many goddamn votes that we're going to overwhelm the Republicans on every, and I had a credit. Here's the thing I got from a well-renowned left-wing editor for a big company. He said, well, I can't tell you the words he said, but I can tell you what he said at the end. Think Hillary. They couldn't find, he could not, well, he did say something to this tune. I've been making my payments for since he became president. My house is so far upside down, my nose is in the water. He's got to give the guy across the street that's been unemployed for 3 years his house. And he doesn't have to make payments on it. He said, guess what?
Yeah.
That's what he said. Think Hillary.
And Chrysler UAW reached tentative labor pact.
Well, the labor pact is, they weren't supposed to be doing this to begin with, because that was part of the agreement with the government loans, that they were not to do what they're doing. But we're not giving these people wage increases. They're going to give them like $1 zillion worth of bonuses. Let's put it this way. If you give a guy a $20,000 bonus and divide that over a year, you realize how much money they've increased their salaries?
And underwear bomber pleads guilty in court.
Yeah, that's because of the fact he couldn't win the case. There was no way. You know, they said, why did he plead guilty? If he pleads to make a statement.
Oh, is that one?
So when that sentencing thing comes up, they have to ask him, do you have anything to say? He then gets a platform to condemn the United States. And I understand that when he does it, Eric Holder will be there on one side and the President of the United States on another side, and as soon as he gets done making his condemnation of how evil we are, Eric Holder will basically give him the key to get out of whatever jail he's going to, and the President's going to put the American Medal of Freedom on his neck for what he has done to help this country.
And most Americans aware of Wall Street protests.
Yeah, and according to, okay, I'm going to try to explain this in simple terms. 62% of the people are applauding what's going on Wall Street.
62%?
Yeah.
Where'd they figure that out?
The hard left of the the hard left of the Democratic Party makes up about 12% of the voters. 51% of the people in this nation pay no federal taxes whatsoever. Let's try, I know for you people, okay, we're going to try it. This is how it works. Democrats can count to 1 this way, because they basically have no school system. How it works. But so we add 51 and 12. What does that come up to?
Oh, 1.
Yeah, well, by our form of counting, it comes up to 63% of the vote. And therefore, you're getting 61% of the people that applaud what's going on. They're the people that don't pay taxes in the left wing of the Republic. It means he's lost another 2% of his own party that does not support it, because they're all of a sudden realizing, hey, that's going to screw us if it gets out of control. And it is getting out of control, just like everyone knew. Remember what brought the 60s movement to an end? Chicago presidential, the Democratic Convention, when they basically, Daley had enough of them and set in the people.
And Fed mold balance sheet expansion in September.
Yeah.
Balance sheet expansion?
Yeah, because they don't have any money, so what they're going to do is they're going to expand, they're going to print more money. Okay, here is the only business in the United States that is actually honestly profiting from all of this. The printing press companies, because Obama is burning out the presses in this country at a fantastic rate, and he has to build new presses. And since nobody else in the world but us builds the presses for making money, we are just rolling money because the French are printing. Every country in the world that prints its own currency is printing up money. The British have done it, the French have done it, the Germans have done it. The Italians and the Greeks did it, and basically what they did. So you can go, you want to buy half of a piece of bread? I want 25 trillion lira. Oh, that's a bargain.
And Clinton downplays speculation and urges others to step up.
It's not going to happen because her husband isn't out there campaigning for others. He's out there campaigning for her election because...
Of course!
Here's the trick is, Obama assumes there's going to be no challenge against him. The Democrats, though, being as democratic as they are, they allow write-in candidates on their thing. So it's theoretically possible that Obama will have to have there will not be enough votes on the campaign floor to push him over the top on the first ballot now.
Are you serious?
Yeah, this is what this is all about. They said, well, we can't keep him from being nominated, but we could put a roadblock in front of him. That roadblock then evens out the field because the Democrats know it's theoretically impossible for him to lose mathematically. The older ones that can still count know that he has mathematically the election won. But the problem comes in as if Herman Cain is which is funny, he's the dark horse, which is a funny thing.
Yeah, he's the dark horse.
But if people continue to flock around him, he now has, as of today, he's out of the plus or minus on beating Obama. He's basically moving so far ahead of everybody. No matter what he does, people love Herman Cain because he is not okay. Like they said. Here's what I heard a very white person say. When you listen to the man, you think white. Mm-hmm. I don't even bother to how the hell is he a black person? That's right.
Well, yeah, but
I didn't realize that he was a black man because he's saying things that the white voters want to hear.
But they're talking about him, that he's supposed to face tougher scrutiny at the Republican debate.
Didn't make any difference. He lost. They said he lost the last debate. They have been going after him. Well, they all of a sudden, that didn't work, folks, because the more we go after him, the lower our. I mean, Perry is now thinking about dropping out of the debates.
Oh, really?
Ron Paul is basically Paul has got the biggest money-making machine out there because the people.
He's been doing this for a number of years.
And he basically got the younger vote. He's going libertarian, and he's getting ready to drop out. Most of the others, Santorum and the others, including Bachman, don't have enough support anymore statistically to stay in the debate. So very soon it's just going to be Romney and Gingrich probably. And I'm going to put it this way again. No one is going to elect somebody my age to the presidency unless he's somebody that basically is not one of them. Herman Cain is not one of them. Plus, he can get up on the stage and sing a mean gospel song to you too. And he's a professional singer.
Anna Monty Bubble isn't from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Okay, that as I've been hearing from the right and the left, never misjudge whom you're reporting on because they might be exactly as they seem to be.
Hello, this is not a spring chicken. If you're watching this, well, yeah, we're actually supposed to be at a entertainment matters function for CES. Well, except if we're driving around in circles looking for parking, of which there is none, except for 1 hour, which means, oh, you couldn't even watch the whole thing, right? Because it's a restricted parking area. Oh yeah, but meanwhile, Greece, I don't know. How did they do that? They do it again? Wow. Maybe everybody's out at the beach. Or out at Greece. Because does it look like they're getting their money again? Or maybe maybe the countries are printing again. Well, for now, we're going to bring Oldecam on with comments on the headlines of today.
You know, with most people, as I have been telling you, the Share Dog only allows me one piece of bread all week long, and I try not to eat it all at one time. So, but you know, it's sort of I look trimmer now than I've been looking in the past few days because I've been at the forum working hard for days, and we don't get fed there. Anybody want to laugh that one? No, you're like, God almighty, look at the food you're being served, and the dessert bar is ungodly.
Well, yeah, because we've been eating actually so much at the industry forum.
Yeah, and because we're here instead of the industry forum, because we were supposed to be at a function we couldn't get any parking for. I have a new member of Monty's extended family. This is Silver Bear Obama.
Ooh.
This is where you should be putting your money right now, is into silver, because silver is hot on the market. Because you need silver for everything. So we now have Silver Bear Obama, but Silver Bear is so, you know, basically he's so delicate we can't take him out of a plastic bag. So he'll only be coming out on special occasions like today when you get to see me, you know, in my slim down mode. After I spent 2 days or 3 days singing and entertaining people. You know, Swanee, how I love you, my dear old Swanee. Yeah, and the guy says, after, you actually can sing. Like, yeah. Look, because I'm old doesn't mean I can't do that stuff, folks. But now, as we say, we just get back to, the market is going wild. And
it is, and Greece does it again? Where does it get all that much?
Basically, Greece has defaulted 6 times. Now they're enabling them to default a 7th time. And basically what they did, they got the banks in Europe and around the world that own bad Greek bonds to take a haircut. Haircut meaning they ate the bonds, folks. All the money that Greece owes, they forgave it.
Yeah, but Greece wasn't paying it anyway.
Well, I know, but but they were supposed, according to the rule. Well, what they did, they took Obama's advice. Okay, well, Silver Bear Obama. You know, I can't have, you know, Rex, because Rex basically works this way. You got to cover his ears. But Silver Bear knows that what you do is you screw the bondholders who, according to law, have to get their money first. Obama has changed the rules, and now other countries are now following. Okay, gee whiz, I just bought, you know, for my retirement organization, for the Teacher Association, we just bought $1 billion worth of bonds. What do you mean bonds are no good anymore. Well, the President of the United States has said bondholders don't even get in line to get their money now.
Ooh.
And all those bonds that the retirement funds have invested in other countries who are supposed to be secure, well, bonds are no longer secure, because if you hold a bond, it's no good whatsoever now. Even though you're supposed to be at the head of the line, you're not even in line anymore. That is what our president has given us. He has wiped out the bond market.
Oh.
Which means communities cannot raise money anymore to do community projects, because if you know that you are not even on the map for getting your money back, in a renewal project for bonds, you're gonna road bonds, no. School bonds, no. You gotta really be, well, actually, here's the people that will vote for the bonds. How does a Democrat count to one? You know, he said, I'm counting to one, and well, it doesn't make any difference that we no longer are in line to get bonds. We can count to one. I actually went to school when you were taught reading, writing, and arithmetic, folks.
And instead of preparing for the season, NBA players are still locked out.
Oh, but those mean Republicans are responsible for this. Those greedy Republicans. He Stern's a Democrat. Most of the black players are Democrats, and all the owners are Democrats. The problem comes, this is a whole bunch of millionaires fighting among millionaires over how much. The players want a bigger take of it. It's not for retirement benefits, folks, because they don't worry about the thing. Screw everybody that didn't come in when they're making $1 million a year. It's got to do with, well, the TV revenue, ad revenue is up, and we want a bigger piece of the pie. Well, ad revenue was up 2 years ago. It is down now. The pie no longer is the same. So what's happening is that all the pro sports are moving things backward, because, it's just like this morning, if you read, here's something horrible. Frank McCourt is the sole owner of the Dodgers. He took $190 million of profits the Dodgers made and used it to pay real estate bills that he owed, so that he wouldn't lose the Dodgers. Well, that was evil. He took $190 million of his own money and spent it on himself. The Dodgers are his.
Yeah, I mean...
But that's how it works. Yeah, I remember too. Okay, here's another. Besides Democrats, this is how a Democrat counts to one. Why are they after McCourt in Major League Baseball?
More money?
No.
What?
He's a Republican.
Oh, yeah, we forgot about that.
We're going to try to... Most of the wealthy in this nation are Democrats. They are not Republicans. The billionaires are all Democrats. They are not Republicans. The corporate leaders tend to all be Democrats. Republicans are the little business person.
Well, is that why Stephen Jobs retired penniless?
Oh, Stephen Jobs, he had no money. He left his children destitute with nothing.
Yeah, right.
Of course, though, 2 years ago, when he knew when he had cancer, pancreatic cancer, he put all his money in a trust so the government couldn't get it. And all of this time, the billionaires are not paying their fair share. I am not being taxed enough. I should be paying more money, so he fixed it so he can't be taxed at all.
Yeah, if you go back and look, any billionaire that's declaring that has already sheltered all their money.
Yeah, that's the way it works, people. I mean, you have billionaires. We need to increase the taxes on the wealthy who haven't paid taxes in years and aren't going to pay taxes, because as one of the predominant people supporting the Wall Street strikers, I believe in paying taxes. I don't believe in promoting a corrupt government like we currently have. When we get the government under control, shut the military down, do all of this, I'll start paying taxes again. No, that's not the way it works.
Putting the move in movement with Ion Oakland, officials seek a quiet end to Occupy camps.
Well, yeah, it's called, okay, Democrats are getting tired of the fact you can get permits to do things, you can do this and that. These people are just doing. It's just, it's called, I heard the guy last night on the news, he was talking about, anybody old enough but me to remember the 60s? Said, I actually wrote an article about this. You go to YouTube, I go to Yahoo, you can actually read what I said about the fact is it's the children and grandchildren of those troublemakers in the 60s revolting against their parents and grandparents, which, for all you people that don't remember, that's exactly what they were doing in the 60s. And what happened, I mean, I'm talking to a young gentleman that basically is a multi-millionaire, founder of his own company. It was being torn apart in front of himself. There was a lot of bad things going on yesterday that Foreman should have done. You don't insult a person in front of him. You do it behind his back. You know? And he's sitting in the audience and they're telling him he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. One of his own employees is telling him he's basically incompetent, which I don't think he can be employed for much longer. But the problem is that I told him, well, we were at the dinner the other night, I told him, you know, when we're having dessert, you know, in a few years you're going to be one of them. And he said, no, I won't. I said, I'll guarantee you that the gentleman behind us is getting a reward, you know, getting an award tonight, was a 60s radical. But he said, no, it can't be. He said, ask the other newsman at the table. And he said, yeah, he said he was one of the most left-wing radicals you've ever seen. Now the guy's he's so Republican, it's unbelievable. Rich person. The rich people were all Democrats there. The ordinary working people that basically, you know, they created things and never got anything for it.
Those are Republicans.
Yeah, those are Republicans.
And beneficials at odds on inflation threat.
Okay, there is no inflation. There can be no inflation because it doesn't make any difference that your half a piece of bread is higher, that the coffee in your cup is higher, that the gas is higher, that, you know, everything you buy is costing you like 14–20% more than it did. Your house is worth so little that we have negative inflation. It don't work that way, folks. Those people aren't paying their payments on their houses. If they're not paying, it doesn't count.
Oh, and Moody's warns France on possible negative outlook.
They also told Obama that they're going to downgrade Obama. They said the other one, basically 50% of the rating agencies have downgraded the U.S. and now the other two are getting ready to do it also.
And a Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Oh, well, here's what. Just because you think you're seeing what you're seeing doesn't mean you're actually seeing what you're seeing. I'm not here.